Hello, everyone. Today we have Dr. Shaima. She got accepted to UW last cycle. So welcome here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us. So give us your one sentence story. Where are you from, and how did you end up in the U.S. dental school?
Okay, so like she said, I'm Shaima. I got into UW last cycle. I'm actually from Pakistan, Lahore. I got my BDS degree in 2020. We were the unlucky COVID batch. So we got our degree actually in 2021. I worked there for a year as part of our dental degree within the same hospital. And then I moved to US in 2023. I did not apply one cycle because I just moved and there was so much to figure out. So I applied in the 2025 cycle and I luckily got in by applying in just one cycle. So yeah, that's my not one sentence story.
Okay. What was the hardest part of the application process that nobody warned you about?
Okay, so I think the hardest part was the fact that once you're applying, you're in it for not just a month, not just 2 months, you're in it for a whole year. And then it's just so mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausting. And I don't think I was ready for the mental exhaustion that it brings with it. So I think that's the most difficult part, the fact that you wake up every day demotivated and then you have to somehow pull yourself together and then show up every day with the same I would say motivation and intensity is really difficult because the weight and the uncertainty, it kind of gets to you every single day and you have to pull yourself back out of it.
Yeah, I understand that.
I know, yeah.
Was there a moment you almost gave up, and what kept you going?
I would say, I don't know, maybe like I was actually pregnant throughout the cycle. Like I gave my NBT while being pregnant, TOEFL, all the volunteering, the dental assisting. So I mean that was pretty intense. I wouldn't suggest anyone doing two boats together. But yeah, so I was 9 months pregnant when I gave the bench test for UW, and I think that was really hard to go through 2 days 8 hours every day. So that was pretty intense.
Yeah, you're a
But I think
superwoman.
my family support and my husband's support kept me going.
Yeah, yeah. You're a superwoman. I will say
Oh my
that.
God. You're so kind.
What's the one thing you did differently that you think actually got you in? I know that might not apply to you since this is your first cycle,
Yeah.
but just if you just give us like this is your secret.
I think one thing that I that's out there a lot is that everyone keeps telling you you don't get in your first cycle. It's just like a test round. I would suggest that don't listen to them because I would always also think the same. And then my husband kind of like kept me going and telling me that just give your 100% and it's doable. So I think that kept me going. And then the one thing that I did differently is to maybe like understand the fact that thousands of applicants are has the similar CV, similar background. Everyone's doing volunteering, assisting. So there has to be something on your application, your CV, that shines when they're looking at thousand others as well. So I would say like make sure there's something on your CV that sticks out, that kind of catches the attention of the schools that you're applying to. So in my case, I think that can be my GPA because it was good, and then my TOEFL score I would say was pretty high. And then I think I didn't just like volunteer just for the sake of it being on my CV. I actually showed continuous efforts into volunteering, so that kind of maybe might have stood out as well.
Okay.
And then consistency and showing up every day, no matter what you're
for
feeling
sure.
inside.
And if you're okay, can you share your GPA and your TOEFL score for them?
Yeah, so my GPA was 3.96 and my TOEFL score was 117.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, can you walk us through how you felt walking into your dental school interview and how you walked out?
Okay, so I got quite a few interview invites. UW was one of the few that I gave since I got the acceptance from UW, I decided not giving any further interviews. So for UW specifically, I went in pretty nervous, but I tried not showing it, and I think that kind of helped. And coming out of it, I felt pretty good actually. It wasn't too intense, and they were pretty nice as well. So I felt nice coming out
Yeah.
of it.
And can you tell us more about UW interview, like in very short sentence?
Yeah, so it wasn't anything pretty critical. They
Mhm.
asked like very general, basic questions on how I worked as a dentist in my country, if I have any prior experience, or what I've been doing after I applied to CAPID. So they wanted to know if I'm still doing something around dentistry, or I'm just sitting back at home. So it's always nice to have something to mention after you've applied for your CAPIT cycle and before the interviews. So I was actually in a research project, and I mentioned that. I had a literature review published as well in one of the US journals, so I mentioned that as well. So yeah, it was pretty basic, just like they wanted to know about me, they wanted to see my fluency maybe. So yeah, it was pretty chill. It wasn't as intense as I've heard some interviews can be.
Okay, yeah. Um, uh, what would you tell an international dentist who just started the process and feels completely lost?
Okay, so I would say find someone who can guide you really well. I've had hit and misses around that because I feel like once someone is ahead of you, they kind of forget to pass the maybe help you. So there are a few people who actually do it without having any incentive behind it. So kind of look for the right kind of people who's going to guide you in the right
Like
direction.
professional people.
Professional, yeah, professional. There's going to be a lot of noise, there's going to be a lot of random people claiming they're there to help you, but they're just like want your money. So try to like invest in the right kind of people, I would say. And then I would say just take one day at a time, because it's a lot of things, it's like too many boxes to check. So try to like just stick to one thing and try to accomplish that, and then move to the other. And then trust me, it's a long process, it's daunting. For some people it just takes one cycle, for some it takes more, but if it's meant to be, it will be in the right time, everything in the right time.
Yeah, makes
So just
sense.
don't lose hope.
And now that you're in here, can you tell us more about like how the school is, especially the first year, um, so they can know?
Yeah, so the school is pretty intense, which is actually a nice thing because they're prepping you to be the best. This is something that I had no clue about, and I was kind of taken aback how hard and intense it can be. But then again, the professors are really nice. We have one of the most amazing faculty in all of our programs, so it's amazing. The first year is pretty hard. We're still figuring our way out, so no comments on that. But I think once you start, every day gets better. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Shaima, for being here and for telling your story to everyone.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.